Welcome, everyone, to Right Size Livin', where recovery meets real life. From health and fitness to humor and hard-earned lessons, this is your space for honest conversations, personal stories, and tips to thrive in every aspect of life. Whether you're in recovery or just curious about living alcohol and addiction-free, you're in the right place. Let's dive into the journey together. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Wait.
Wait.
All right, let's why don't we all buy in, everybody, for this week's episode
Sounds good.
of Right Size Living. All right, so we're buying in, and I'm gonna buy in first. I'm buying in with a 7. Generally, things have been okay. Yeah, I feel like 7 is not a bad, score to have,
Good
right?
average.
And I think
Good average.
it's pretty. It's a little above average, right?
Yeah.
A little above average.
I got to ask you, James, how are you dealing with all this beautiful weather?
Yeah, that's probably why I'm not a 9. Honestly, there's no Bay 19 in.
So nice. Spring's been beautiful.
Been great.
No Bay 19 in the air.
No.
Just
Brandon and I got these beautiful tans overnight.
so we don't get it hasn't been as nice down up here as it's been down there. Presumably, I haven't really looked at the weather, but I mean here it's been hovering around 60 as a high. Today it was like probably 68, but yeah, it has not been up. We've had maybe 2 days where it's been like mid 70s, and so it runs a good 10 degrees cooler up here, and we get a little bit more rain, which is nice, like that. But yeah,
I think we're getting off the path, man.
well, I'll bring us back. So yeah, I'm about a 7. Where are you at, T-Bone?
T-Bone.
Oh, like 2 hours ago, like a 4. But
Tell us
now I'm feeling like, I don't know, 6.5, 7, maybe. It's good to be home and chillax now.
Yeah, what was going on?
Oh, a kid's activity at the potential future preschool for Violet.
Oh, you had to do like an interview thing?
No, it was more like a social thing.
Oh.
I mean, it would have been ideal if it was like the orientation's next week, but it would have been more ideal to like learn more about the school. This was really just a thing at the end of the summer or at the end of the school year for existing students, I think. And then the new students were invited. So I don't know a single person there, right? Like, nor does Violet even know a single person there. But we showed up, did our thing. I don't know who was more nervous, me or Violet. Put it that way.
Probably you. All right. I'm a 7. I'm doing pretty good. Sarah and I went for a little bike ride just earlier. Got a crushed lime juice on Alberta. New little drink stand. It was really refreshing. So yeah, it's pretty chill. And the weather for sure is nice to have. So yeah, good solid 7, probably 7.5.
It would have been a 9 if it was a tandem bike.
I've never ridden a tandem bike, dude. I know.
Maybe once I have. I don't know.
God.
That's very French.
Oh, maybe I should.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like the unicycle is French. I don't know why. I feel that way.
I think you're thinking of a mime.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mimes are French, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll check in. I'd say probably about a 6, 5, 6. Just some possibility of a new job and thinking about, the pros and cons of it. But regardless, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I'll figure it out. I'm in a good space and place with my sobriety. And is that Uno?
T-Bone knows.
It's on.
Oh.
That seems to be in the air lately is people getting new jobs, people getting laid off and getting new jobs. Our good friend last night, they got 10 years. He just said he got laid off recently.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I know
Oh,
who you're
that
talking about.
sucks. Yeah, me too.
But he said he's all right. He's like, oh, I'll just get another job. Like, oh, that's a very positive way to think about that.
Yeah, he was talking about in his share how, he was great. Well, was one of the things like he was grateful for was having his job. So that must have come unexpectedly.
Yeah. Well, I asked him, I said, is that part of Doge? He's like, well, in a roundabout kind of way, it is, because he was working on education. And so his position wasn't needed anymore because we cut all of education out, right?
Yeah, Sesame Street. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Anyway.
With that being said,
Yeah, James.
let's talk cravings.
Let's
Do you
do
love
it.
them?
All right,
Do you
man.
guys love them?
No.
No?
Snacks. I got a craving for snacks.
Do you?
Fuck, dude.
Those are real. Those are
I
That
got
is real.
sweet.
It's
A lot of sweet cravings. I
Yeah.
got a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I have a craving for like caffeine at all minutes of the day. It's weird.
I just love the taste. Like I've been drinking I've been making iced coffees and I like throughout the day I'll just put it in my thermos and I'm just sipping on that shit. It's weird. I never really cared about coffee, but cigarette and iced coffee, that's
It is a stimulant. It's definitely like a change, right?
I like the taste, man.
Yeah.
All right. So cravings, do you guys still get them? Let's go through
Well,
the
you
group.
brought it up.
What is this, like a who smelt it, who dealt it thing?
Yeah.
They who smelt it
So
dealt
so
it.
so what
Yeah.
about cravings? Like maybe I know we kind of like, yeah, I think you asked the question already. Do you still get them, right?
And there's no shame in getting them. Like, I mean, you talk like I've been listening to a ton of speaker tapes. Like that's pretty much all I listen to because I'm trying not to listen to like, in the car, right? I'm trying not to listen to like news-based podcasts or any sort of news radio because, it's depressing as fuck.
Yeah.
But and it's not good for my mental health. So I've been listening to a ton of like different speaker tapes and like you hear people that are long time sober people, 20, 30 years talk about how they get cravings, a powerful desire for something.
Yeah.
Thanks, T-Bone.
Well,
Yeah.
I do have a story. When it's my turn, I do have like a recent story.
Yeah.
Can I go interject real quick? So like
Yeah.
I think the term craving is sometimes, to your point, Jimmy, is sometimes like people think it's a bad thing. But like the reality is relapse wouldn't exist unless cravings existed, right? And like we know how often people relapse. So even though people might say they don't have them, like clearly something propelled them, right? But it doesn't, I don't know, in the Merriam-Webster definition, it doesn't say a physical, mental, it doesn't identify any of that. It just says a powerful desire for something. So
Okay. That's good that you cleared that up because when I think of cravings, I think of a physical, like I'm thirsty for a fucking beer. Like, like I have to have a beer or like the taste of it. But yeah, I guess I'm glad you looked it up.
Right. And I think it's important because it's like, I mean, I feel like they're to a certain extent, they're probably always going to happen, at least for, I mean, at least for myself, I use substances as a coping mechanism for, my entire adult life. Right. And so if that feeling pops up, it's kind of like, what do you do with it?
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I get them from time to time. I don't know about you guys.
I just had one this week, I think Monday. And so do you want to hear about it now?
Yeah, let's talk about what triggered it. Anything in particular that you can point to?
Yes, there was. I mean, I could I I could tell you exactly the moment and what I did. So, as you all know, I was a beer drinker. I was kind of a beer snob. But anyway, so I was driving. I was doing my delivery, driving the truck. I was on my way to Eugene, And
That'll give anybody a craving, dude. Going to Eugene. Holy shit. Tell me about it.
I wasn't there yet.
I know, even just the anticipation of going there would give me a fucking craving. Ugh.
No. Okay, so this is what happened. I'm driving the truck. I'm going through the the Willamette Valley, the agriculture like farm country. Really beautiful. I really like my route going to Eugene. It's peaceful. But driving through hop farms. Have you guys ever gone through the hop farms?
Oh yeah, yep.
So driving through the hop farms, and I see, the hops are starting to grow. They're starting to vine up to the top. I'm like, oh wow, the hops are starting to grow, and then my mind starts wandering like, oh, hops. Yeah, the taste of hops. I miss that,
Do
like,
it,
God
man.
damn it. And so my mind just started wandering like a hoppy beer, craft beer. And my mind was just racing, and like, oh, a nice hoppy lager right now sounds really good because it was sunny. I'm like, what the hell? Why am I thinking this? And so I'm just going through my head. I'm like, this is lame. Like I'm working, I'm driving through a hop farm, and I'm thinking about all these things, and I want to drink right now. That's not good. So what I did in that immediate moment, I just thought
Wow.
about what's that?
Rubbed one out.
I wrote.
That's
No, I was
that's a
driving.
solution. That's a coping strategy.
I was scared and didn't know what to do, so
Yeah.
I just started
Can't
tugging.
do that on the
So
job.
I started
The truck doesn't have self-driving, so until that happens, and I have both hands on the wheel.
I wouldn't trust it anyways. I wouldn't trust it anyways, though.
But so what I did, like, right away, I'm like, fuck off. Fuck that shit. Like, beer, like, me drinking for years and years and years just about killed me. So fuck you, hops. Like, I just got like pissed off. I'm like, this is dumb. Like, I shouldn't. Why am I craving hops? If I want a refreshing drink, I'll just get something else. But I don't know. Just playing the tape, like I mean, and I knew like it was gonna pass because I've been in situations like that before. I'm like, all right, this is just a feeling, like it'll pass. So, and it did. It lasted what, 5 minutes? Not even that long.
Yeah.
For me, it's situational. It's like I start to think about situations or memories, or like, oh, I remember this, I remember that, and then I start to think about how great it was. But then I have to snuff it out real quick with how I got here in the first place, and just can't go back down that road.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great point you made about playing the tape through, and I'd like to come back to that a little bit later, because I think that definitely can work for people like us under certain conditions, right? But let's hear from everybody else on whether or not you get cravings from time to time. Looking at you, Bflo. We know
Right.
you get cravings for certain things, but
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that right now.
we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, that's more than a craving. It's been a long fucking time, man.
Man, me too.
I need to.
Need to bump your fists?
Yeah.
knocking the boots, dude.
I think that's like a
Anyway.
92 term.
That's
but
probably
yeah.
why it's been a long time, dude.
Yeah. Boys to Men used that one last.
Knocking the boots.
Man.
I really don't. I haven't really had any cravings. I kind of talked to you guys or Cbass about it. I'm not certain if I talked to you guys about it, but I took a nap the other day and midday, which I normally don't do. And I woke up in a fucking panic, man. Like it was just like confusion. And like when I first got sober, when I was sleeping, I would wake up and it would just be, I had no idea where the fuck I was and was just distraught, covered in sweat. And that's what it reminded me of. I mean, and I've mentioned to you guys before, like I really, even when I first got sober, At no point was I like thinking to myself a drink would make this situation better. So I really haven't had any cravings up until then. And I was just like, all this anxiety and like panic just swept over me. And it was fucking scary. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? Because the last few weeks have been weird for me. There's a lot of anxiety and panic. And, like the good thing is when I have those, I kind of calm down and, what's my game plan? Why am I feeling this way? And what's my game plan? Before, anytime I would have any kind of feeling like that, I just fucking drink. And, towards the end, I was just drinking all the fucking time. And that's what kind of really keeps me from craving, or I mean, I don't know if you can really keep yourself from craving something, but I just don't desire it because it was just the way I feel now, how, generally happy I am and just physically and mentally, it just really keeps me from even considering drinking other than that last time. And I mean, it's just, I think about, it was a fucking daily thing, how I just suppressed. I never knew how I felt, whether it be mentally or physically, because anytime I felt any kind of inconvenience, I just, defaulted to having a drink. And it was really easy for me. I was thinking about it last night when I was at a meeting, and there was no like, hey man, you should stop drinking. It was just me. I was able to hide it, conceal it really well when I would go to work, but I didn't have to answer to anybody. I could drink and then I could come home and I could drink because that was just what I typically did. And so anyway, back to like the cravings, I haven't had any, but I must say I did remember when you were talking, James, that when I'm watching like 30 Rock and like Jack's fucking drinking wine and having a steak, like I'm like, that looks really fucking good, because I love wine. And but that's about it, I definitely have cravings for a lot of other things, but it's not gonna fucking kill me.
It's a different show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You brought up a lot of stuff that I think is definitely something that we should definitely talk about here in a minute. T-Bone, what's your thoughts on the cravings? Do you still get them?
Yeah, it comes in a different way, like than maybe like what someone traditionally thinks of as like something like physical, right? But like to me, it's like an association, right? Where I see something like people out on a patio bar,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
No, I'm that way too.
And I see it, and I immediately think, God, that would be amazing and fun. And then I get really upset because I'm like, screw you. Like, I'm talking to like this, metaphoric thing, but like, screw you, whatever you're trying to do here, because that's how you got me into trouble last time, right?
Mm.
And I get like Sebastian had said it, like he's like kind of upset, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta like, I don't know, you kind of have to like push them away a bit, but even that's hard. So that's how they come. I see a thing that reminds me of like a fun time,
Yeah.
because there were fun times, right? There are plenty of bad times, more so those. But at some point there was fun. And so that's kind of where my cravings lie.
Can I add to that, Anthony? So that reminds me, like when the weather started getting sunny. I don't know. This was like a month or two ago, and I had parked out in front of Fireside up the street from Barista on 23rd, and they had the garage doors up and people were out drinking, and I was like, I don't fucking crave that at all. There was typically when the sun's out, man, the fucking fun's out. I just, I, growing up partying on boats and shit, whenever it's sunny, it's always fucking, that's just how it's how we did it. And I was actually proud that I was like, I don't need to fucking to do that, like that I was able to not want to do that. Like there was a sense of pride that I wasn't like missing it. I didn't have to fucking miss that because that was a huge thing. Before getting sober, it's like I'm not gonna have fun. I'm not gonna be able to do these things, and it's fucking wrong. I was completely wrong. So
Yeah. I see that. I live right near Breakside Brewery, just like 2 blocks away.
yeah,
And we walk by, I drive by, um, all the time, and I see people out there all the time. I don't get that as much as I used to. In the beginning, like my first year, I would see people out there and be like, man, I miss that, like being able to go outside and have a nice cold one, but not anymore, not really. So I'm glad I don't. But I still have that, I still have that boundary set for myself. I don't go into to breweries anymore.
I think we touched on a bunch of really good stuff here, honestly. And as far as for me, I'll just put in my own thing about the cravings. Like I do get them from time to time, and it's usually some sort of like, triggering event. Like I happen to be looking for a phone number in my phone that I had saved, and I stumbled upon a person I used to use with his name, and I'm like, oh, I clicked, and of course I never delete my text history, which I probably should do that just as like a good idea. And I'm like reading through these texts back when I was like out, and that kind of gave me a little bit of a craving. But, I think the thing I'd really like to touch on is like, I don't know that we'll ever be completely free from cravings, but I think we all should be like, you guys talked about it, each of you, about having a sense of pride. And I do too, around the fact that like when the cravings pop up, they don't have the effect that they used to on us, right? And maybe we can talk about why you guys think that is. Like in my mind, I guess what I'd like to get across is that like in the past, these types of cravings, all of us would just have folded, right? Presumably. I know I would
yeah,
have. And now they can come and they might feel somewhat visceral at the time, but we're able to like have the right sort of like perception, and we can, put them in perspective. And I think that's due to something, right? And I don't know what you guys think it is. To me, it has a lot to do with like all the work we put in. Maybe we can talk about that type of thing.
I think it's a combination of the work, but also I think genuinely what held true for me was like the more time between it, like the more time of absolute abstinence, right? Like the more I had, I guess, the confidence that, okay, we don't have to go down that route, right?
Yeah.
But that wasn't, those feelings didn't hit me as like comfortable until maybe a year. And still, I'm still working through those. And it's been, I don't know, 19 months. So a year plus, and it took me that long to like not to actually have like some, I guess, some self-confidence that it was going to pass and not lead to anything horribly, terribly wrong. Right. But then, of course, how do you get there? Well, the work, of course, what Jimmy said.
yeah. For me, honestly, it's probably a year prior to me hitting my bottom and getting sober. I felt, and I kind of talked to Sebastian about this before you guys got on, but I just fucking felt like when I thought of the future, I didn't really think of a future because I had worked myself into a career that I was not happy with. I did it out of necessity to make sure I could provide for my family. And I was just like, fucking, the fuck am I going to do? And the way I look at it now, and for once, like it was like, questioning my mortality. I always just felt that nothing was ever going to happen to me. I just had this mindset where it's like, I'll be fine. And I know that, I'm going to pass away at some point in time. We all are. But I look at the future. I want to make sure that I can, I actually, I have a future now that I'm looking forward to, and I don't want to waste any fucking more time doing it. like I did before. And so that's a huge motivator for me. I mean, I think in the last 9 months, what I've accomplished in the last 9 months, what can I do in the next fucking 9 days, that, 18 months, 9 years, where I'm just like, fuck, yeah, just keep stacking it up and learning patience, because I've always been so fucking impatient, to get to my goal. And I know it's these little steps that we take, and I learned them from fucking the rooms, is these little steps that we take to get where we're going. And that's been a huge fucking eye opener for me. So for me, to keep the cravings and sober is just the fucking future. I look forward to it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about all the scary shit, the stuff that I thought I needed alcohol for. I don't think I need it anymore.
Yeah. Well, when you said stacking it up, it brought me to thinking of being able to be in a situation where where I used to drink, and now I can get through that without drinking. I think like stacking up those situations, like James, we went to the concert with Albert, and that was my first big concert. I went with my wife. I went with Sarah with one, but like going out with the dudes, to an event, like a show, and everybody's drinking. And of course, yeah, I was, thinking about it, but we all got through it and we had a great time. And so like you stack up these events and
Little wins.
little wins, like, and then it's like, all right, man, I got through that, no problem. Like I can do it again, and just keep stacking up those little wins. I think that's what it's all about.
That was a real test too, man. That was
Yeah.
that was a real test from God right there, man.
Where did you go? Fucking fish?
No, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
King Gizzard, Lizard Wizard.
I would have drank, guys.
No, but do you know what happened? Did you hear about what happened at that show?
It was like pouring rain, right?
It rained like the most rain of all time, dude. I mean, we're like they almost
the
canceled
history of Oregon.
even
Where was it?
Edfield, yeah. And
was it recently?
September.
Dude, that was probably cold as hell.
It got cold, yeah.
Yeah, even the band was like playing, and they're like, Jesus Christ, we gotta get out of here. They canceled. They stopped the show.
What do we do?
For like an hour.
Because the beauty of that place is it's outdoor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that must have been awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It still was fun. It was still fun. We got soaking.
But to your point, Sebastian, like that, it's a muscle, right? You get through it again and again and again.
Yeah.
And then you,
like what
it's like that self-confidence. Are we talking about an instance I had? Or are we, because you just talked about Edgefield, I think it was.
Are we talking about edging now? Is this where this conversation's gone?
Don't get me started.
Jeez. Yeah.
Jesus, guys.
Man, I think every episode has something to do with
that old chestnut,
That old chestnut.
Is that an AA thing? Because I was sitting on the zombie Zoom meeting, and some lady said that old chestnut, and I was like,
is it? I don't think it is. I think I just heard Jimmy say it, and now it's caught on.
I think I found your woman, James.
Roasted chestnuts.
Oh, who's
She's
that?
in California, and she does the zombie meeting at 10.
Is that zombies not a good meeting?
It's a pretty good meeting.
It's not a good meeting?
It's a pretty good meeting.
Oh, yeah, because the speaker's usually like a pretty high caliber speaker, right? But actually, like 3 nights ago, their topic was craving, and kind of now takes it back full circle. Yeah,
you know what it's like dating in AA, right? It's like shopping in the dented can aisle, Bflo.
Dude, dating in general,
guys,
like that.
Jesus,
yeah.
You guys remember
on the fight? Oh yeah, sorry, T-Bone. Shit.
Can your kids hear this?
No. No, we got earphones.
All right, are we going to restart this now?
No, I think this is good.
This is good stuff.
This is good. I think when Sebastian talked about that concert, I started thinking I want to drink right now.
Oh,
So like, so like,
get through
I
it, man. Come on, we'll help you get through this.
no, I understand, but like the idea of like going out to a concert makes me, and like if I were to see people dancing and like moving around, I might feel awkward enough where I'm like, I think I need a drink to just go be part of the crowd, you
I
know?
think the three of us were getting our groove on sober. That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
It was pretty
The
dope.
funny thing is, when I was drinking and there was dancing and shit going on, I never went out there. You know, I would just drink and be like, yeah,
Oh, I did. I was like, I
you
was
would
winning dance
dance?
contests. Hell yeah.
Oh
I was a great
shit.
dancer.
I got to see this.
Let's take you to a really good concert, T-Bone.
Yeah.
See,
What was gonna
that was kind of the when I don't know, I think I was probably 2-3 months sober when because I wanted to see how if I would have cravings or urges. So I went to a show with my brother-in-law at a bar that I used to go to all the time, and I felt fucking nothing. I don't know. To me, it's just like I have a lot of self pride that I don't have to do that,
Yeah.
and I almost get kind of fucking judgy. Like if I mean, and I shouldn't, but like one time I was leaving the gym at 8 and was going to 7-Eleven to pick up cigarettes because it's healthy. And,
After the
there
gym, going to pick up cigarettes.
was,
Nice.
and,
I fucking love that about you.
oh, dude, I'm smoking before and after, and I
I
keep
know.
up with everybody, man. But there was a couple of guys that were going in, they were kept walking out with fucking, some malt liquor and shit. And I'm just like, I'm so fucking glad I don't have to do that shit anymore, because there was, I've talked to you guys about it, like sneaking out of my house because I ran out in fucking middle of the night and going to Plaid Pantry, waiting for it to fucking open so I could, and it's just like, it's not that long of a time. It'd be like run out at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's just, if I would just go to sleep, it'd be fine. But it's just like this panic sets in that I don't have that option if I want it. It's not fucking there. And, it's just nothing but sheer panic and like going through old fucking, trying to find a stash or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'll stop.
Isn't it funny though? Like you said, you're kind of judgy now, like, like seeing people having
I'm not now, sorry to cut you off, but kind of in the beginning when I was like at 3 months, I was like,
but
you
no,
go.
I get what you're saying, but I was gonna say I was judgy when I was drinking, and if people weren't drinking, and be like,
Same.
what, you guys don't know how to have fun, or even if they couldn't drink as much as me or didn't want to drink as much as me, I'd be like, man, you guys don't know how to have fun, man.
Oh, dude,
it's 6 a.m. Why are you buying coffee?
Yeah.
I would always be
God.
encouraging people to drink,
Yeah.
It's just like I wanted the party to fucking bump it up. Like we
Oh.
went to a party and it was kind of dead. Like I would go fucking start DJing and pouring drinks and shit. And,
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I was the same way. Like I think I talked to you guys, like even, any actors or any celebrities that got sober, it's just like fucking.
I remember saying that.
Yeah, I almost lost respect for them because I don't know. It was probably just guilt and shame that, I couldn't do it or I didn't want to do it. That was the thing. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. I didn't want to fucking stop drinking because I'd always associated drinking with fun and socializing.
The funny part is like when you get sober, then you start to, meet and see in the acting celebrity world,
Yeah.
all these different people that are part of sobriety, and it's like a huge thing, and like people kind of come out of the woodwork to
1 second.
to help you, and and things like that.
I think it's cool when I hear that somebody's sober that's in the program. I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
I get super jazzed now. Like,
David Bowie.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all those musicians, and if they didn't get sober, they ended up like Lane Staley or Kurt Cobain or any of those guys. That's either you get sober or you end up like one of those guys. Is pretty much what happens. So I guess I don't know.
Brandon's got diarrhea.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna go. He's tugging right now. He probably had a craving. That's one of his
Got
coping mechanisms, right? He's
Different show, man.
I mean, this
We'll see.
itself is a coping mechanism.
Dude, it's my
Yeah. Definitely was tugging.
not that quick, bro.
What'd you make? Is that
Craving.
chicken?
I was talking to T-Bone about how to make quick, healthy meals for dinner, and I just made another one tonight. So
Yeah, I was thinking like, I don't know, maybe a milkshake
Yeah.
for dinner.
Okay, so here's the overarching thing. This is what I was trying. I guess this is what I'm seeing from all of us, right? Cravings happen. Okay. They probably are going to happen. In the past, used to be very dangerous for us. Early in sobriety, super dangerous. But I think the things we do on a regular basis, right, help the cravings from coming in the first place. They prevent them from coming, right? They also help us to deal with them in an easier fashion when they do come, right? I.e., like we can just play the tape through. I mean, when in the past, playing the tape through never worked for me. My tape, it just didn't run,
have a tape.
right? Like I'd press play and the fucking thing wouldn't go.
it was all chewed up.
It was all
tape deck player.
I had to like keep spinning it back in because the tape was all loose and shit. Remember tapes? You guys are old. You remember that shit. But you hear what I'm saying? Like it's because we're, call it what you want, spiritually fit, doing the work, all the things, right? That we're in a place of general serenity, even though we're all like 6, 7, whatever on the buy-in. And when the cravings come, we can play the tape through. We can maybe reach out. We are planning to hit a meeting later in the day. We're meeting up with somebody that we're working with in recovery. We're going to the gym tomorrow, and we don't want to be fucking on our lips,
Getting cupcakes and cologne, and
We're making tilapia or lupa
Lumpia.
lumpia, you know what I mean, or
eating fucking
chicken.
pasta and white beaters and fucking meatballs and shit.
Or
Hey,
or just drinking a fresh, cold La Croix.
oh,
La
sponsor. Oh, we got to remember fucking
Croix bien.
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Right.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Where's T-Bone? Now he has diarrhea? Or now he's tugging?
Whoa, dude.
He got triggered, dude. Let's go.
Oh, well.
You didn't go over your triggers, James?
What? I talked about a trigger that I had. Ran across. Yeah.
Yeah. Text guy.
Yep, the old text. Now.
Yep. All right. He's back.
So, any other thoughts?
Seems like I missed the moral of the story.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. You'll just have to go back and listen to.
You have to tune in.
Show. You'll have to like and subscribe to the show, T-Bone. And
I did like and subscribe. I did.
Don't forget to like and subscribe
and share.
And share. Yeah. Give us feedback.
Feedback.
Is this a shout out to everyone, or is it
we love really Lumpia? We love Lumpia.
Lumpia. Shout out to Lumpia. Lumpia and La Croix. Yep.
And La Croix and meatballs. Time to cash out.
All right.
Bing.
Should I go?
Yeah, you go.
All right. I'm more soft than when I started talking to you guys. Thank you. My triggers are racist white people, and I feel really bad about myself. I'm gonna go drink. I'm joking. I'm like 8 or 9. I don't know. Hanging out with you guys, even if it's over Zoom, is awesome. So I'm just glad to see you guys. It's I don't know. I reminisce from when I first got in, and I'm very grateful and thankful, that I had the time, because it seems like everybody's kind of disbanding. So, but when we do get together, which I'm very grateful for, Sebastian putting this together, so we have a set time when we can meet up and see each other. So, but yeah, I'm about 8 or 9.
Sweet. I'm an 8. I bumped up a half. Yeah, like Brandon said, it's good to see you guys. Good to talk. Now I'm ready for dinner. I do want to give a shout out to my man, the new Pope, Mr. Prevost, Pope Prevost. Yeah,
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, word.
Leo.
Good name. Good name too.
Good name.
Solid.
Solid.
T-Bone, where you at?
I think I said a 6.5 earlier. I'm feeling just a little bit lighter. Always talking to you guys helps, and just, hey, this is a reminder, right? So I'm in a good place. This is where I got to be with y'all, and I would say like a 7.5, 8.
Nice. That's good.
I'm definitely an 8, you know, in more than one place is, I'm 8 for sure.
What other places are you 8?
I'm just kidding. That didn't hit the way I thought. It's definitely not true. But yeah, no, I miss you guys. And yeah, just being on this podcast with y'all is definitely something I look forward to. So, and hopefully we'll see y'all in a couple weeks. I'm coming down, so
Yeah.
have a cheat day, yo.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Right Size Livin'. Thank you guys for participating, and most of all, thank you listeners for your attention. We hope you found this interesting and will join us again soon. Goodbye.